Tucker Carlson is furious, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a big mad, and this week he did the unthinkable, and that was to actually call out Donald Trump, who is apparently the source of Tucker Carlson's anger right now. That's a pretty massive statement, right? So what's Tucker so mad about? Is he mad about all the election lies Trump keeps pushing? No, he's not mad about that. Is he mad about the fact that Trump is hoarding money and not sharing it with Republican candidates who desperately need it for next year's midterms? Nope, it's not that. It is a money issue, though. You see, Tucker Carlson is angry that Donald Trump is not personally paying for the legal fees of the Capitol rioters. In an interview this week that Tucker Carlson conducted, this is what he had to say. He was talking with right-wing commentator Julie Kelly. Carlson said this: "People are going to be offended that I asked this, but I can't control myself. What about the president on whose behalf they were gathered that day? Has anybody sent them money? The people around him, Brad Parscale, all these people are getting rich, right? Complaining that the last election was rigged, which it clearly was, obviously. That's a lie. And they're making all this money, and all these people are sending all this money down to Florida. But is any of that money going to defend these people who went to this rally on behalf of that candidate?" Kelly responded, "Not that I know of, and I will say no. And it's a question that I have been asking myself, and a lot of them have been asking too. A lot of them were there to support Trump. They were there to protest the election being taken from him unlawfully. And they're not getting any money." Here's the thing. This should be a lesson. I think Tucker Carlson's lament here should resonate with his right-wing audience. It won't, but it should. Because, folks, and I've been saying this for a long time, this is what Trump does. Those people, the Capitol rioters, the ones who are, being held in jail pre-trial, waiting for their trial, the ones who have already been convicted and are currently in jail, the ones who are in court right now, he's not helping them because they're no longer useful to him. They were useful to him on the day of the Capitol riot. He gave a speech. He said, "We're going to the Capitol." He had planned to walk there with him, but luckily his administration explained to him that's a really bad idea. They did it for him. They did it essentially, based on what I can see, on his command. They were his army. He was their general, and he gave them their orders. And now that they're in trouble, he's like, I don't care. Yes, I'm raising $100 million for my super PAC, but I'm not going to pay legal fees for these people. What are they going to do for me? Because that's how psychopaths operate. People are not people. People are tools. And once the tool is no longer needed for the job, you discard it and you feel nothing about it. That is a trait of a psychopath, by the way. And I believe that is what Trump is exhibiting here. And I think that's what he's exhibited his entire life. Rudy Giuliani is another great example. Tucker, why aren't you mad about that one? Rudy Giuliani is facing financial ruin, facing possible prison time for everything he has done for Donald Trump. And Trump won't even return his calls anymore, won't pay his legal fees. Last I saw, he hasn't even paid his legal bills from Giuliani yet. When Trump doesn't need you, he casts you aside. You no longer exist in his world. And that is the message that Tucker's audience should receive from this segment. They won't. They sure as hell didn't. But just know, you stick your neck out for Donald Trump, and then you get in trouble, you're on your own. He ain't coming to save you. And the Capitol rioters, Rudy Giuliani, and so many other people in his orbit can tell you that firsthand.